Brian Powell of I Run Far here with Meg Mackenzie before the 2019 Pikes Peak Marathon. How are you?
Good. Thank you so much for having me.
Yeah, welcome to Colorado.
Thank you. First time here.
How long have you been here?
Just over 2 weeks now.
Nice. So you've had some time to enjoy the state.
Yeah, and acclimatize, hopefully.
Hopefully. Where have you been staying here in Colorado?
So I started off in Boulder, and then I went up to Ned, and then I came here. So I've checked out the course and had some altitude.
You have had some altitude, but sort of baseline with Boulder, but also up in Netherland, a little higher.
2,600, I think. So quite a bit.
Yeah, which is significant because you've spent, as we were just chatting off camera, most of your year over in Europe, or most of your summer, excuse me. And
so most of that's been like 1,000, maybe up to 2,000 kind of things, and not very high at all.
No.
Yeah.
So have you felt it when you've been running high on Pikes Peak?
Yeah. So as soon as I got here, I did a couple of really high peaks, and then I went to the summit and did a little run around there, and I could feel it for sure. It's crazy.
Coming down will be nice, right?
Yeah, once I get down to like 3,000, it feels better.
Gotcha. So. Well, let's back up a little bit because we've not interviewed you before. I'd love to know what your background with sport is. Were you a youngster, an athlete?
Yeah, I've kind of been running my whole life. My whole family are runners, so didn't really have a choice. I did cross country at school, and then I started trail running about 2010-ish.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So quite a while.
Yeah, quite a while.
How did you make that transition? Did you do athletics when you were also doing cross country?
No, just cross country.
Just cross country.
Yeah.
So you've been
and field hockey. Yeah.
But you were always enjoying that.
Yeah, always outdoorsy and sporty, and then I raced quite a bit in South Africa, and then my first race in Europe was Sierra Zanel in 2016, I think. Oh no, I did Zermatt in 2015.
Yeah.
And then I've kind of been coming and going since then. Last year was my full first international season.
The last 2 years you've focused on the Golden Trail Series.
Yeah, exactly.
And I guess that's probably been an opportunity to get to see those big European races and more of them.
Yeah, and race against a high level of competition.
Yeah, because there are a lot of, we've interviewed a bunch of South Africans before. There's a lot of strong runners, but it's one community. It's quite isolated geographically in terms of getting to other big races.
Completely, yeah. And it's hard for South Africans to get places, so it's a long travel and stuff like that.
So when you were first starting trail racing in South Africa, I'm assuming you did Otter Trail a couple of times.
I think I've done it 5 or 6 times.
So then totally off topic, but what was the difference between last year's course and the normal course? Because there was a different...
So they just switch it every year.
Okay.
So sometimes they run east to west and then west to east.
But there was no other...
No.
Okay. There was just
the same.
some modification of the name, I think.
Yeah, it's just to spell it backwards. So Otter, the classic way, and then Reto is Otter spelled backwards.
There you go. I learn something every day. I love
That's all the changes.
So you've been running for a long time, but you're still improving. I'm just noticing, looking at your results, that if you look at Sierra Zanel and Mont Blanc Marathon, you're getting stronger. What's the basis for that? What have you changed the last couple of years?
I've put it mostly down to having my coach.
Yeah.
So David Roche has been my coach for about 3.5 years, and I've just noticed a marked improvement from when I've started running with him.
Now, has it been an increased commitment to running? Is it more volume, more speed work? What is
the trick? Much less volume.
Yeah.
Smarter training. I think before I was just doing too much, and I kind of got into a couple of injury cycles, which kept me out of the loop. And then, I think just more consistent running and racing at a higher level also improves you mentally. Takes a while for your mental game to catch up. So, yeah. So
that's probably been a big step up last year because you had 4 or 5 really high level races last year.
Exactly. And then the more you get used to that, the more you can perform and the easier it feels relative.
And you probably don't feel, not being an imposter, but you feel more comfortable I can run with this woman or that one.
Exactly. Whereas before you're like, whoa, I'm lining up next to who? So it's good.
What do you think will be the biggest challenge here at Pikes Peak Marathon?
So definitely, altitude is the first thing that comes to mind.
Yeah.
But I think also the course is super different to anything I've ever done. That's straight up, straight down for so long.
Mm-hmm.
It's going to be hard to pace. And then I think it's also going to be hot. So just managing my effort and hydration in combination with altitude. Really, I think it's just going to be a management of effort.
Yeah, and that's, I mean, you have to balance all those things, the nutrition, the heat management, the pace.
Exactly.
So.
Yeah, I'm hardly even thinking about competition. I'm just thinking about like how I can run the best race given the circumstances and the course. Yeah, and I have a huge amount of respect for this course. And
your own talents. I mean, there's one big climb and one big descent. Like, how do you meet that effort out?
Yeah, I guess I love running downhill, but I love technical downhill. And this is not. So again, I'm not really sure.
Yeah.
But I also love climbing, so I'll try and put that to use.
Nice.
And see what happens.
Well, best of luck out there, Meg.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.